So unfortunately, the first bit of gaming news that we have for today is more bad news about Battlefield and Battlefield 2042. So you guys have all seen me play Battlefield 2042 on stream. You know my thoughts in general. Battlefield 2042 is an absolute mess. It's unplayable on PC. None of the modes are balanced or finished. This game needed at least another 6 to 12 months to be finished. Battlefield Portal is the best thing it has. You know, I think that this really should have been split up into at least 3 different games if it were me. But some information came out here, and I'm not just talking about EA putting forward new things that they're saying, okay, now what is their name? Ripple Effect is going to make the next Battlefield game, and Vince Zampella of Respawn fame, Titanfall and Apex fame, is now in charge of the Battlefield franchise. And Martin Leto, one of the creators of Master Chief and Halo, is in charge of a new studio that's helping develop Battlefield, and they're making this Battlefield universe. It's not what we're talking about. We're talking about more bad news about what happened with Battlefield 2042. And this is pretty interesting, I think. And I think all of us kind of knew this, but this is very specific. G Fuel code Mary, don't forget. So this comes from Tom Henderson, a well-known source within the game industry, especially when it comes to shooters, Call of Duty, Battlefield, so on. So this is what he says of Battlefield 2042's development. There's a lot to dig into here. Developers started leaving DICE during the release of Battlefield 5 as EA wanted to compete against other games, and their concepts internally were never getting a look at. So the developers weren't getting listened to. So they've had a talent drain. They wanted to compete against primarily battle royale games, as well as other more, you know, popular shooters, instead of doubling down on Battlefield and building Battlefield or other new IP, other new ideas. So EA basically gave them a memo and said, take influence from all these things like battle royale. That's what we want from you guys. Battlefield 2042 had changed concepts several times. So originally it had classes like the old Battlefield games. Those were scrapped sometime in 2020. Bear in mind the game came out in 2021. Apparently cross-gen development had a massive strain on the development of this game, having to develop the game for old platforms and new platforms. We've heard that before from development teams. Bungie and the original Destiny game was a huge example of that, and they eventually left the old versions behind, and then the game got much better. I would think that this has gotten easier over time, as platforms now aren't so straightforward. There's different versions of the platforms. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's made it even harder, and it takes up even more resources. But they're saying it was very hard for this game, for Battlefield 2042. It is a very technically, let's see, strenuous beast, graphically strenuous. So I can understand that. Originally, the game that we got, Battlefield 2042, was not even going to be a Battlefield game. This was going to be something else. Sometime between April and August 2020, the game changed from a battle royale game to the 128 player specialist Battlefield game that we got. Originally, it was a battle royale game that they were working on, of some kind. Battle royale, straightforward battle royale, or spin-off variant. You know, we've got several different kinds of battle royales out there now. But the original game concept, the original kind of demo or design, all that of the original game that they were making, got turned into what we know now as Hazard Zone, which has, you know, battle royale elements to it. It's that Tarkov style, the Cycle Frontier style game, except, as you guys all know, as I said, there's no reason to play Hazard Zone other than if you have fun with it. There's no loot to earn. There's nothing to unlock. It's just the basic gameplay hook. If you like it, that's fine. But all those other games rely on that building your character element that Battlefield Hazard Zone does not have. I seems obvious to me, but anyway. So basically the game that we got, Battlefield 2042, did not go into production until August 2020. That's when the concepts were actually chosen to move forward with, green lighted, and what we got. So this game was only developed for 15 months. Obviously the engine was around before that, and there was a lot of resources and assets that they carried over. But the Battlefield 2042 that we got was only in development for 1 year and 3 months. This does not surprise me. This game is nowhere near finished. It's, even with what, like 3 different studios working on it, they needed more studios working on it. The Battlefield 2042 that we got is not even close to finish, and this explains it. That's why it's not finished. They only had 15 months worth of development time. This game should have been delayed again. According to this, one of the trailers used Battlefield 3 and 4 assets because they didn't even have enough to put together a trailer for Battlefield 2042. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here about DICE being overwhelmed and admitting that they needed help from others, but because the engine, a lot of people don't have experience with that engine. It's not, you know, Unreal Engine or something that people are familiar with, like Source Engine. It was tough, apparently. UI issues were obvious to the team, but they didn't have time to fix them, which is what we heard when people first played that alpha or beta or whatever they called it. Everybody hated the UI. Whole bunch of other stuff in here that apparently the team wanted to delay months, but they only got to delay weeks. That's coming from, you know, a decision from EA, most likely. This does not surprise me at all. They should have delayed this game because, once again, they just launched this game out, Battlefield, into a time where they're up against Call of Duty Vanguard. They're up against the new Call of Duty map, Caldera. They're up against a new season of Apex Legends. They're up against a new chapter and season of Fortnite. They're up against Halo Infinite. And this game was not ready to go toe-to-toe with those. We all thought this would be the year that Battlefield went toe-to-toe again with, like, Call of Duty and the other big players. That has not happened. So this is what the future of the Battlefield franchise EA is looking at, supposedly. And I believe this, but I guess this is what scares me, and I'll get to it. The next Battlefield shooter is going to be a hero shooter. Whatever that means, I don't know. The specialists that we have now are basically heroes, but it's going to go more into that. They're going to go more into specialists fighting each other and not armies, which makes sense, I guess. If they're going to do a hero shooter, you can't really do US versus Russia anymore, or, you know, France versus Italy or whatever. A BR is going to come in the near future. It says not within 6 months, but sometime in the next maybe 12 months. And my first question for this is, do they plan to launch this BR for Battlefield 2042, or is this going to be some standalone free-to-play app to try to get players to play Battlefield 2042? Because this is what I think Portal should have been from the get-go. Portal should be a free-to-play mode. People will play it, enjoy it, and then hopefully buy Battlefield 2042 if and when it was a good game. But that's how they should have approached this. They should have broken this up into, like, free-to-play variants to get people into Battlefield, and then more to get them into the paid version of the game. Because what they launched with 3 different modes is nothing is finished. They don't play off of each other at all. It's just not good. It's broken. It's not well thought out. It's not well designed. It's not well balanced. It's not well connected. So anyway, Battlefield has hired, or DICE, EA, DICE, they're hiring all this new talent, opening a new studio and stuff to try to straighten out the future of Battlefield. And they say they're working hard to fix Battlefield 22, which I believe, and I believe in 6 to 12 months it will be a better game. But Battlefield is now entering the same problem that Call of Duty has had for years. They just replace itself every 12 months. Because that's exactly what it sounds like they're doing. Instead of doubling down and saying, hey, Battlefield 2042 is our platform for the future. We're going to fix this. We're going to add new content like a battle royale. We're going to do this, this, and that. Stick with us. We're going to get there. What we're hearing is, oh, hey, we know we screwed up Battlefield, but don't worry, we got all these big plans for the future, and there's going to be new Battlefield games coming that are going to be better than this, and we're committed to that. Well, people are losing faith in the Battlefield brand. How many Battlefield games in a row have now been disappointments? Let's see. Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 2042. Some of those games eventually became good games, like a year after release. And I think 2042 will too. It has its moments. If they can fix the performance issues alone, this game's going to be much better off. But I'm glad that EA is putting together an overarching long-term plan for Battlefield. I really am. But their constant decision making and rushing these games out, not giving the developers time to make the game, to make it a polished game, is diluting the brand. And I'm really hesitant now. I'm scared. Every time I get excited for a Battlefield game, it's like, how much longer will players keep coming back and saying, I will give it a try again, and I will pay $80 again, or however much it costs. This battle royale thing that they're working on better be free. And not even just free for Battlefield 2042 players. It needs to be free for everybody. They need to put something out there for the whole shooter community that is going to make people talk about Battlefield in a positive way again and get excited and build some trust. Who is developing this thing? I don't know, because they got All Out Warfare, they got Portal, and they got Hazard Zone. So you're gonna tell me they're doing a fourth mode, a fourth large scale mode too? I mean, I'm kind of scared. I'm not gonna lie. But that's it. That's the Battlefield news, guys. Maybe I won't be talking about Battlefield again for a while, but the stories keep coming. So that's it. That's it for that one.